Okay. I have to stop it.
Oh, record, and then she's not aware that it is recording.
Because I just keep looking at
Yeah,
Ronan.
yeah, yeah. But that's okay. That's a good
That's
way to
okay.
start. That's a good way to start. Let's keep it
Let's
running.
keep on.
Let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it rolling. Don't
Oh
stop.
my God!
As natural,
Listen,
we do natural.
we are natural.
We are
We
natural.
were natural.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, this is Donna Savage with Talk with Savage Desires, and I have here with Mr. Spence. Mr. Spence, thank you. So this is our second episode. So the first interview that we had was Sephton was explaining about the trauma and abuse that he went through. For this segment, we do not want to dwell on that too much. So this episode is going to be more about forgiveness and where you are in your journey and where you have become become and still becoming
Still
and still
becoming.
becoming. So Sephton, thank you so much again for joining me tonight and to finish up this episode.
Well, this is beautiful because now we're not computer screens apart.
Yeah, no,
We're
together.
side by side.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm not too sure if we're fully COVID vaccinated, but we are.
We are
So
fully.
we're all
good.
good. We're good. So don't nobody sending any message say, "Oh, has she had her shot? Has he had his
I
shot?"
have.
I'm fully vaccinated.
We are fully vaxxed, and
Yes.
that's fine. It's so funny that this is where we come into the society now, right?
Oh,
Are you fully vaxxed? Wear your mask, because here comes the separation again. But this episode is not about that.
it's not about that.
Where we left off the last time, and was about the big thing about your parents didn't come looking for you, your mom didn't come looking
Yeah.
for you, and that touched a lot of people's heart because I got a lot of inboxes and texts about that. That they
Wow.
can see themselves, that their parents didn't come looking for them, even if they're missing for a couple hours. They will be all over the phone. So I think that alone, that last statement that you made, really touched a lot of person's heart, or where they were at that time.
It still resonates with me. We see that type of it's trauma. It's trauma. It's
Mhm.
trauma because you see the thing is you go through life, and as you're going through everything that you do is now you're by yourself. And the thought is that you're by yourself. You're not good enough to be with anybody else.
Mhm.
So that plays with you in your relationships. And you could fail so easily with that because having somebody you don't really know and you have triggers in your head. Are they going to leave? Are they going to be here? Are we going to really have something that is going to be genuine? But in the back of your head,
Mhm.
what's going to happen here?
Mhm.
And it bothers you. So the abuse started when I was about 12. I was younger than that. So we came to Canada, and when things got tough with my father, the I got it, and certain times. I mean, we used to have the clothesline with the white wire that ran around
Oh
on the thing.
yes.
But you see, the thing is, it was great to have. We could play skipping with it and stuff like that. But he used to plait it and leave the wire ends open.
Do you used to get beaten by that?
And that's what he used to abuse, right? Um, Another time, he would use the fan belt of a car. So it ripped up my skin so badly.
This was here in Jamaica.
This is here in Canada. So, I mean, stuff like that is traumatic because it affects you. But you see, the funny thing about it, because I could then smile now. Pain, yes, to remember, but you smile because you've come through and you've overcome so much, and where you are today because of divine within you
Mm-hmm.
that comes out.
Mm-hmm.
That you can't make somebody hold you down. All these things will grip you, grip your life, grip your thoughts, grip your emotions, and every relationship you go into, you're carrying this mess.
Mm-hmm.
But we say that we don't have baggage.
We all do.
We say we don't have baggage.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the moment my father said, "Do not go and don't leave the area." And I went with my friends.
You leave the
And
area.
I went to the market. I went to the mall, Bridlewood Mall. I was outside the store with a friend of mine, Mark Dempsey, white boy. Yeah. My friends were inside. They were stealing. I didn't steal anything. But you know what? because they thought I was looking out for them. I was an accomplice. My father had to come and pick me up. Lord have
Jesus.
mercy. That car ride was the quietest. It was like dead man walking. When I got home, the other boys' families came and got them. When I was on my way home to the place now, they were outside playing,
The kids were outside playing,
but they're the ones who stole.
and you didn't do anything.
I didn't steal nothing. But you know what happened? My window was still open, and the whole neighborhood could
Heard.
hear. And when I came down, I remember words were said: people who rob should not be eating food. I couldn't go to school for 2 weeks straight because if they saw the
The
condition I
bruises.
was in, I was so wailed up. I'm telling you, wailed, cut up, back, whole thing. He did not stop beating. I think he got tired. I
That's
couldn't
my fault.
cry anymore because there was nothing left. But everybody outside heard because the windows were left open. So you didn't only suffer the shame of the abuses that happened, but the abuse that people knew that was
The shame
happening,
behind
the
it.
shame behind it. So growing up, when I was then living 3.5 hours from school, after when I was finally out, rid of that thing. But remember, that beating happened when I was 12. I could never stop to think if I beat my child today, even if nobody knew, or anybody at 12, at the age of 12, I started wetting my bed. You guys are the first people that's going to learn this today. I started wetting my bed
At 12.
around at 12 years old
Stressed.
because of the constant beatings daily. You know, um, I mean, it was bad. We're not going to remain on this today, but let me tell you something. What one thing that helped me to overcome again divine it's that comfort somewhere deep inside. I made a baseball bat in grade 8 to kill my father. I'm letting everybody know because I told him already,
Mm-hmm.
and he was like sitting there shocked. Yeah, I wanted to kill my father.
Wow.
And but understand, it was kill him out of fear, kill him out of because what was told to me was if you tell your mother I'm going to kill you and I'm going to kill her
Tell your mother what? About beating?
about what is happening to me, he was going to kill her
Which
and
is
then kill me.
which is the peeing or the beating?
The being the beatings that I was
But so
getting.
your mom didn't see your skin. She didn't see that. I mean,
Well, she knew the beating that I got when I was supposed to have stole,
mm-hmm.
but she didn't see the other beatings
The
because
continuous
he would
beating.
mask it by wrapping his hand in the dish towel or do different things. So she never saw the pee in the blood. She never saw all that stuff. But do me a favor, that can never happen to one of my children now because I would see every single mark, every hair that falls from their head. I would know.
But not only that, though, personalities change.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're not going to be that person who you are. All of a sudden, you're going to be closed off or
Yeah,
being by yourself if you're paying attention, right? And
right.
it happens so many times. Personality change. You cannot be going through that kind of circumstances and don't see the changes.
But you see, at that time, as I said, that my older sister had a child.
Mm-hmm.
I was also taking care of that child
So,
every day.
so that,
So I was soaked up into that, and that's what made me the loving and caring father in which I am today, raising 4 beautiful children. Plus my first born, and her birthday was just the other day on the 9th,
happy
the 10th of
birthday.
the yeah. My girl Rose, love her to death, love her to death. Um, and I still call her my daughter because she's been always there. But you know, the thing is, we move past this because there are traumas that go on and on and on and on and on and on, right? But the day that I left, the a lot of the burden left because now I was able to achieve in school. I was able to achieve. I was able to be active. I was able to have friends. I mean, I didn't spend enough time with them, but I was able to have friends. I was able to begin to socialize with different people, right? And then I would still go to church. And that was the first time I saw my mom after, I forget how many days of not seeing anybody that she saw. And my mom took really ill one time, and I went home, stayed home with for a minute to go help her, make sure she was well first.
Mm-hmm.
But I couldn't stay there. I couldn't stay there because the worst thing is that we as parents, we as people that don't know, we like to integrate the child with the abuser, not knowing how much abuse is going on.
It's true.
And every day that child sees the abuser, the trauma that is going
Get
through
thicker. Yeah.
does get thicker inside the
Mm-hmm.
head.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very unhealthy. So my message is to those ones that are being abused: use your voice.
Yeah.
Somebody will listen. Somebody
Yes.
will hear.
Yes.
Right? I'm I'm always here. I'm always here. I have a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people that reach out to me from time to time. I will hear and I will do my best to help in whichever
Mm-hmm.
way I do, because there's a lot of families now in which um, me, my companies, and my kids, we help and support.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a problem. But for those that are also doing the abusing, you need to stop. If you want to damage somebody, your life is already damaged. Stop and get help. Stop and reach out to somebody, because everybody's willing now to help.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's has the ability to step out and help. They will keep your story straight. They will keep it quiet if
Mm-hmm.
that is what it will. But you will become a better person, and you'll become a loved person, a changed person. It makes an amazing difference. And you know what? They need to know, because you have the verbal abuse,
Mm-hmm.
you have the physical abuse, and then they're the parents and the wives or the husbands that have the emotional
Emotional
abuse,
abuse. Mm-hmm.
and then that trickles down to your children.
Mm-hmm.
So I've told you the statistics about black families and black abuse, and how it's 87.4 that continues that thing, and it takes 3 generations to break the cycle.
Mm-hmm.
But let's just break the cycle right away,
Right now.
right now.
But the thing about it is too, I know you talked about those who are the abuser.
Right.
They may not come forward, but for persons who know that that person is an abuser,
Right.
have two choices.
Mm-hmm.
Is either report it or say something. And I'm glad you brought this up, and I'm glad that you're speaking to the audience,
Mm-hmm.
because with COVID coming on right now, so many persons are not going anywhere.
Okay.
They're inside the house. So there are more abuse going on, not only to it could be the children, the spouse, because I know men get abused too, which
Absolutely.
we don't talk
Absolutely.
about.
Yeah.
So the simple fact that you're bringing this up and you're actually speaking to the audience about, seek help, because sometimes when you're going through your own stresses, your outlet is to hit the closest person to you. And then afterwards a regret. That means you know it at that point. So even if they regret, reach out to someone.
Yeah.
And say something, because it's a very serious thing.
Serious matter.
Mhm.
COVID has one of my best friends, Naka McGregor, the woman at the center, violence against women in Canada. She's the leader, and violence against women has gone up 900%. Did you hear the statistics? 900% since COVID, because now you're stuck in the home with the abuser. You can't get out. You can't go nowhere. Kids and every male, whoever is doing the abuse from either side, 900%. So that is an alarming number. But the thing again, the you have to always have hope. You always have to have a plan that you're going to get out. You got to have a thing built inside of you where you realize that, you know what, I'm better than this. I'm better than this. I have places to go, people to meet, things to do. And through that, I've been able to take a step forward, And then, after leaving that school and still got a setback through football and stuff like that, got injured, had a bad accident, couldn't play anymore. Then again, you have to rebuild. I have to rebuild. And from that there, then you started to work. Then here comes kids. Here comes kids.
So you have to be doing your healing. right along when you had children and marriage and the whole nine.
And that's the scariest part because only you know the damage that's what's happening inside,
Mm-hmm.
and the other person could not know. But again, here's one of my failures. One of my failures, and I don't have a problem admitting my failure because okay, it's not just yours, but it was a part of my failure was I said to the person, which was my wife, I said to her, "Don't leave me."
Mm-hmm.
So the thought of having or being abandoned inside my mind, in my heart, I was saying, "Don't leave me," because I could do anything to stay. And the thing is that when you're that abused or you are being abused so much, you always think that everything is your fault. It is not. It is not your fault, and that will plague you for the longest time.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get into a relationship, you might all of a sudden be with somebody that might be abusive because you that's a trait you that you something that you're used to,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and a
It
person
feels
it
familiar.
feels familiar,
Mm-hmm.
right? But then the thing is that you think it's your fault, so you try to fix it all the time, right? Okay, we move forward. The company I launched out. I launched out when I was young, and the kids were there, and I did my first invention. I
What, what,
did
what,
I did I did my second invention.
what was your first?
My first invention was the ultimate paint shield.
So, but before we jump there for two
Yeah.
seconds, okay. So now you are this person, and now you decide you made a choice that you're
Made
gonna
a
start.
choice.
Yeah, you made a yeah, definitely. That's so important. You have to make a choice, right? But meanwhile, you're going through these things, you have to somehow forgive.
Absolutely.
So how did you work upon forgiving, leaving that behind, and going forward to even start your new invention?
You have to come to grips that you are not what they say you are. You're whatless. You're a dummy. You'll never
What
work
was
out to be nothing. We would have said dunce bat in
done bad?
for your idea. Dunce
Yes.
bat. Yeah, in whatless, he's a left hand pumpet. That means he uses his left hand, which is the wrong hand back then. So they used to beat you on the left hand for you
Teach
to
you
use
your
your
right
right hand.
hand.
So
It's a lose
it
lose for you.
man, it baffled me. No matter where I turned, how I turned, there was a situation.
Mm-hmm.
But you see, the thing is that to make them know, and for you to be sure, I went to my abuser and I said, for whatever I've done to you, I apologize.
Because forgiveness is not for them; it's for you.
It's for me. It's for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a bucket of water and
And
I
that's
washed his feet.
you did.
I washed his
I
feet.
thought you were going to say dash it upon the
Oh, I
board.
went.
Sorry.
Oh, hold on. You're giving me ideas now. I forgot to do that. Is that what it was? I forgot to do that.
I know this is a serious topic, but sometimes we have to put a little bit
You
of,
have to. You have to. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yeah. Yeah. So
So when you were doing that,
silence. Absolute silence.
wow, I have to. Why? Yeah.
Absolute silence. But it brought tears to my eyes because I could not believe that I was absolutely doing that.
And it was coming from a place of love or coming from a place of compassion. What was going on in your head? Why you chose to ask for, apologize, number one, but go to the point of washing his feet? I know you're religious at that. I don't know what.
That's yeah, that stage, yes. But
Hmm.
still, it is a way of me saying, I surrender. I'm surrendering because I need to be well.
So no more resistance.
No more resistance. No more resistance. So that was a breaking point with me.
It's huge.
Huge, huge. All of a sudden, when now remember, this doesn't happen with everybody. It's not going to work the same way. But with me, it stopped him and there was a silence. And it was quick. I done what I done. I got up and I left the house. And um, I don't think he ever told my mom.
It seems like he doesn't tell your mom a lot of
No,
things.
he doesn't. He doesn't. You know them old people. They keep things in that bosom. They call
Right,
it
right. Not a
in that
bosom.
bosom. Yeah, yeah. My mother used to keep all our money in our brassiere.
Yeah, we want
No, mom, I
anything.
did not steal it. I did not steal it. I took dad's coins, but I
We
did not.
couldn't go.
I didn't. I didn't. I would never take nothing from my mom in that sense. No. So, but and growing up, you recognize and you realize that there there has to be a healing, and healing makes me better,
And
and I'm
stronger
and
too.
stronger. So,
Mm-hmm.
and because of the drive in which I had, they s- I've been asked many times, how did you make it through the time? I said, I honestly, I couldn't tell you. I I just was on autopilot.
I think too, maybe you
Mm-hmm.
saw the bigger picture. Because you know what, you have to see the bigger picture.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're going to sit in a place of the past all the time and the abuse and the physical, then it's going to stop you. Earlier, and I said to you, you never lay down. You're going to be, it's just like if you fail at something, you have two choices: are you going to stay down or you're going to get up?
Oh, I'm not the guy that stays down.
Exactly, and you're never that person. And you
Never
saw the
that
big
person.
picture, and you saw the bigger picture,
You saw the bigger picture.
and you're faithful too. Because I'm telling you, as much as I've forgiven so many people in my past, me washing some of the feet would not be I would not be one of it.
it's it's
So
it's okay. Everybody does
differently.
do it differently.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it is, whether just facing them and talking to them.
Mm-hmm.
But the most important thing is you have to let them know the damage or the pain in which they've caused.
Caused.
Now, remember, the person is never ever ready to hear it
Of
because
course not.
they don't want to. Because now they have to face the fact of what they did or what they think, and you know them. They're not gonna tell you, "I know true."
It's true.
It's
It is true.
untruth.
It's true.
It never happened. So
I mean, I remember that
you
story
never
there.
remember that. Where you get that from?
Yeah, it's true though.
Well, he has dementia now and everything like that. But I already said all my piece,
So
right?
that's good.
So I'm good with it.
Yeah, your
So
conscience is clear. You're
yeah,
forgiving him, and so now you did your first project or
I know I
invention.
started doing inventions from way back because
Mm-hmm.
I have a crazy mind. So I started taking things apart from very young and put them back together, which I've been gotten in trouble about doing that also. But then I started doing different things. The first one I did, I sold to Canadian Tires
Oh,
many,
what?
many, many years ago. I drove into the parking lot. I broke my son's Josiah's fire truck
Mm-hmm.
because the arm used to come up.
Yes, I remember the
When the
ones.
arm would come up, I put a hand on it and says thank you, and I glow in the dark, and then I would have a button on the steering wheel because I thought Canadians or North Americans were the laziest people. Every time my parents would let them in, they would never say thank you. And then the person in the car would complain.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did was I pressed the thing and the arm came up and said
Say
thank you
thank
and went
you.
right down. I went into Canadian Tires. I
Mm-hmm.
went to Canadian Tires and I went to get parts for it.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy saw it and says, "Hey, what is that? Wow, here, I give you this money for it." Hey, what did I know? I was young.
Mm-hmm.
Take the money, got home. Hey, look how much money I got for that. Right? So I would consistently have, I think I have right now, I think a total of 29 things that I've put together.
That's
And I
amazing.
also sell thoughts and inventions to different companies right now. Also,
The Cubby thingy, the name of your company,
yeah,
Cubby. You mentioned that it's for the daycares or
daycares. I
schools.
started the Cubbies in Cubby Construction. I
Mm.
started. It was Kitty Cubby first,
Mm-hmm.
Kitty Cubby, and I started it with my mentor, and we started building daycares for the Ontario Barbaries government and stuff like that. And all of a sudden, things just started to explode, and it went from one to another. Then we were doing additions. Then we're next up to building homes, and it is just. And the thing is that the what I've been taught through Randolph Townsend, he had such an impact on my life, such an impact. He never made me to really do much. He just made me be aware. What's this tool? What does it do? 6 months, all I did was push a broom.
So this Randall, was that the one that was helping you when you were living in that apartment, or Randall?
Nobody helped me.
Okay. No, I mean you had a little part-time job.
No, I was working for Anchor Captain at that time, which is a Lansdowne and Bloor at that
Mm-hmm.
time, and That's how I was paying the
The
rent,
bit getting money. Okay, okay,
paying
okay,
the rent
okay.
and eating. So now I could afford food. And
Mm-hmm.
Fridays I would have fish and chips at
Ooh,
school.
fish and chips.
Man, all my black brothers is them were there. Oh, they had their little bag lunch. Oh, I could have fish and chips. Yes.
With the gravy.
No, I'm not a gravy guy. You know, I'm not a vinegar guy either. I would just ketchup. I was just straight ketchup and tartar sauce. That was it for me.
Okay.
So, it went from there. But you had people while you were in school. When you go back, people school that did not know, but because of their friendship that they had with you. Mike Cummins, Max Garcia, rest his soul, that died, passed away from us a little while back. Tony Warner, Mark Henry, all those guys were just amazing friendships in which and Mike Cummins, that number one guy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we had a amazing way of healing me because I didn't have a family, but to me
Through your family.
they were like my family. So after when the businesses started growing, then I would work on the second one, and Ultimate Paint Shield sold astronomical numbers,
Mm-hmm.
astronomical numbers. It made me a good pocket change, a very good,
With a smile,
very
with a
good pocket
smile on
change
his face.
on a monthly basis. It was
Mm-hmm.
beautiful. I got royalties from that, and then I moved on and did more things. But what really enticed me when I was on the streets, it really helped me because I saw a lot of homeless people, and they lived on the ductwork, and they would sleep downtown on the ductwork. And when you got to walk the streets just to stay awake because you're afraid at the age of 15, you see them sleeping. So what I did was I built a cardboard, snapped together box that would fit over top of them, and took it to the somebody that worked in the government, and I said, look, pop-up homes
Mm-hmm.
that could protect them,
Mm-hmm.
right, and different stuff like that. So they rejected it. They're like, who are you? Who's going to clean this up? Again, cardboard, recyclable at that stage in my life. So I was already thinking way ahead. Later on in life, I was a spokesperson for a company named Zenita. This is when I started filming and started being a construction producer for different TV shows. And then what happened there was um, we spoke for Zenita, and they made sustainable 100% they took the material out of cardboard
Mm-hmm.
and made panels. They were called pure panels. Later on in life, when Haiti went down, I instrumented and put together for FEMA a home that would snap together. I worked with different companies out of Dakota and stuff like that to make shelters for the hospitals and the women's centers and the men's
Mm-hmm.
centers, color coded, everything like that, to keep them separate, and to also give them a shelter because they were just intense,
Mm-hmm.
right? The problem is that they a lot of things was left on the docks, but the exposure that I had coming up and really taking to heart the work that I was doing and really put the effort into the construction that I was doing, my quality of work in which I did paid off with the different TV programs now. All of a sudden I was I was necessary. And then I'm working for Dr. King's family. I'm working with Samuel Jackson. I'm working with Tanair Stewart.
Everybody that
I'm
had.
working with everybody. Everybody, they want me to come and do work for them, especially in the South. They were like, a black man doing this stuff? Wow.
Never heard of that.
Never heard of that. But the whole time, again, it was never about me.
It was about the people.
It was always about helping others. It was always about reaching out and showing strength and showing wisdom and showing others that we have the ability, we have the strength, we have the technology, we have everything at our disposals to be the kings that we should be.
I like that. I like
and that's it. That's
like
it.
that.
So every day I continue now Now that we've reached a place, I'm the vice president of ACA, which is the Afro-Canadian Contractors Association, which we have grown leaps and bounds in 1 year, trying our best to bring contractors that's either underneath the table to the forefront. And when they reach the forefront, if they're a contractor, we equip them through knowledge, through experience to the next level.
I love
And
that.
from that, we move them to a general contractor. We move from a general contractor to an owner. We move them from an owner to a developer. So we're pushing them along. Now they're able to see and have the ability to affect the communities which they're in, which
Mm-hmm.
before we couldn't affect the communities because all the community dollars were being taken away from the communities because of bigger firms, bigger
We're
companies.
getting it.
They were getting it because they never knew that their words were, there's no black builders in Canada. There's no black contractors really. They're just workers. So what that did is that created a sense for the government where all the money was just never stayed
Divided to them.
Divided to them.
So
Never
it's
stayed
not
in
the black community.
never stayed in the black community. But now that ACA is here, it is staying within the community.
It's not going anywhere.
It's not going anywhere. And now with the new procurement and mandates and stuff like that that's been put in place where you have to have so many black workers on the force, not only in dollars but in time and in schedule, that it makes a huge difference. Huge difference. We have we have Cubby Construction that is fully going. That's does the North America, and so which that means America and here in Canada we do work for particular people.
Okay, so that's Cubby. So which one is the Freeman Estate?
Freeman Estates is for St. Lucia, where we're starting, which is about to take
Explode.
off. We're constantly being bombarded, especially now through the COVID times.
Mhm.
Everybody wants a home. It's like they want to leave Europe, they want to leave America, they want to leave wherever the demographic is. They want to come back
Mhm.
or find a place in the Caribbean to return to. So there's Freeman Estates, but then we also have Empower Her. That is new.
Is that was that a woman worker?
Yes. Yes, we have the school,
The school.
the first in the Caribbean, the trade school for women in the arts.
Just love this.
So it's the land size in which we have now is beautiful. That's all I can say. It's beautiful. The sea is our backdrop, and it's a wonderful place to be. So
Listen,
we're going to be in strengthening, equipping, training women to the place where the knowledge that they will have. And I want to continue to thank all our sponsors and all the different ones that's reaching out to us. We are still looking for certain teachers that will teach a subject, and we'll put you up and we'll take care of you for the time that you're going to be there.
I love
and we
this.
need the engineers. Now, it is for people of color, right? It is for women of color or origin. So from the island of St. Lucia right now, another island there's 3 other islands that would like the same program to begin. So, but right now we got to get that off the ground. So in 2 days, I'm going to be in the air, and I'm going to be down in the air. So the holiday season will be down there. So it's not just for holiday. It is for work. It's for work. It's once I get on ground, it's moving. So we want to get everything. COVID has pushed us back.
I remember.
COVID has really pushed us back, but we're really pushing forward. So healing allows you to get here.
Yes, it does. And this is one of the reasons that that's why I wanted to talk about this.
Yeah.
From pain to pleasure.
To pleasure.
From pain to pleasure.
It really makes a difference. The faster you make up your mind that you want to be healed. I remember I was 41 years old. 41 years old. I began to accomplish things already. And I've already had my own TV show, right, in the States. So I was in the closet, curled up in the closet
At 41.
at the age of 41.
Mm-hmm.
Big, strong me, because I woke up in a panic because I was being beaten again. So I was healed, but not everything you remember because your mind blocks out certain
Yes.
things. And then this memories I did not know. I didn't know because I never remembered it.
Mm.
Right? I was in the closet and I said to myself at that point, I need to go see a specialist.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to go see this gentleman, Dr. Beach. Absolutely love him to death. And the older man sat there like this. Mhm. Now, I recognized this man was blind. So the whole time I'm talking, I'm doing this just to make sure. And he
Mm-hmm.
doesn't even move. And towards the end, he says, I can see the shadows. Uh, but the thing is that he let me talk and talk and talk. By the third visit, upon getting out all the stuff, there was a gentleman there. He brought in somebody because what was being done, and this is something that those abusers got to think about. Canada's got this order where you could abuse for how long as you will. They will come back and
Come
get
back
you.
and get you. Yeah.
They'll come back and get you. If that child decides to speak up,
They will come
they
back.
will come back and get you.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, because I was underage, he is required by law to bring it to somebody's attention. They said that there will be jail time served for my parents. So I had a choice now on what I was going to do. Because I already forgived and I already
Mm-hmm.
passed that stage, he told me to write a letter. And
Mm-hmm.
everything that you could have remembered, just write a letter and just give it to them. I did that. And
Mm-hmm.
from that day, I never, ever had a look back. I never had a flashback. I've never had somebody hold me down. And that moment, I propelled in life, in 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 area where then I could own 3 different companies,
That's amazing.
sell companies, invest in companies, sell
Mm-hmm.
them, move along, and I don't say anything.
But
I,
you remember we were talking earlier when I
mhm.
saw your book, and we talked about journaling, how
Yes.
important it is. Because with journaling, for someone who can't speak, regurgitating in any
Yeah.
form,
Oh yeah.
speaking, writing, and talking about it from a place of not hatred, but
Mhm.
memory and with love.
Absolutely.
And it makes such a big difference in everyone's life. The only thing is, you have to stop, acknowledge that there's something going on and that you need to be fixed. If you don't go through that process, these are something that you're going to be holding on until for the rest of your life.
Mhm.
Or unless you get coaching or speak to a professional that can
Mhm.
help you. A lot of times we think we can do this on our own. No, we can't.
We can't. You got to know when you are
To
not.
fold them and hold,
Yeah.
hold them.
You really got to, because what that does is that the more we acknowledge our failures and know them, not the failures that you're being abused. That's not your
Mm-mm.
failure. That's not your failure. That's
It's
the
not
other
yours.
person. That's the abuser's failure.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know how to communicate. They don't know um, how to whatever it is that's going on within them.
So they take it
They
out.
take it out on somebody else,
Mm-hmm.
right? So with all that happening, but the thing is that the hardest part, I say, is when your siblings don't do anything. Also,
Mm-hmm.
it bothers me. I mean, when I was growing up, I had my older sister. But because if you're told that because he's so dark, he's not your
And right
brother.
away
He's
they
not your brother.
believed.
It's not your brothers. So he's not your brother. So any cup I would touch, she would never touch that cup.
Because you're dark skinned, is because you're not your brother. Which one is it?
I don't know.
It could
She
be
would
both.
never touch that cup again, or she would no, or a fork or a knife or anything like that. I mean that. So as an abuser, the abuser infects the
The
other
other
ones.
child, yeah.
So in other words, hatred and racism
It's
is
taught.
not. It's not something that they. It is something that they learn
Mm-hmm.
because it's taught by
It's taught.
somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Isambala. So all that happened from a young. I mean, is there one family picture that I'm not in? Because my head was cut out.
I remember you were saying that.
My heads were cut out because when I was young, I was dark. I mean, like I was like tar.
You were dark,
I was
dark.
dark.
You was
Or
dark, 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 dark.
dark, dark. Canada has lightened me up, but I'm going back to the I'm going back to the Caribbean now to become my true color, right? But no, I was dark, dark, and then my heads were cut out of all the pictures because I wasn't a part. So stuff like that, you still remember, but you heal yourself from that because you recognize that it's not your fault. It's not your fault, when you're doing so. So it goes on. It goes on. But the grace that you have got to give to others and lead. Now you're able to pass on to your own.
Exactly. But the good thing is, though, you remember we talk about the generational stories, are we healing?
Yes.
So now you have healed. So the generations to come is already healed.
It's already healed. So you're not passing on a shortcoming to any one of them. My children are so mentally strong, so emotionally strong, so knowing of themselves, of who they are, that I'm just amazed at them, how unmovable that they are. Look at my daughter. You know what? I tell you, that child works like crazy. I think she goes, "Dad, I'm just like you, 3 or 4 jobs." I'm like, I don't think that's a good idea.
And then she has 3 brothers.
And then she has 3 brothers that are always on the go, always got things going on.
So listen, this segment's supposed to be 30 minutes, but Sephton have so much to talk about.
We're not talk about no more.
We're done. We're done. So, but you know what? I want to stop him, but I couldn't because you know what it is? The simple fact that you are speaking to so many persons who don't have a voice of their own. And you're literally saying, listen, if you're in these circumstances, you're not alone.
Not alone.
You're not alone. And a lot of persons, when they're going through that thing, they always think they're alone. But to be honest, like this episode is about forgiveness and healing, and to also remind people that they're not alone. If it's not for Sephton or myself or anybody, but there's tons of organizations and tons of other persons that you can run to or talk to. But the crazy thing about abusers is they always make threats.
And in strict fear.
And in strict fear. And then you believe that fear because they already frighten you with the abuse that you've been going through. But this is where now we have to acknowledge that, this is not right. It's not right. It's not making me feel right. And run. And listen, so you have to make 2 choices. Is either you're going to be in a home where you're getting the shit lick out of you, or mental abuse, or whatever you're going through, or going to a home that's not even yours, but it's safer. It's a safer environment. And a lot of persons, I don't think they want to make that leap because they're trying to compare.
Fear.
Yeah, again, it's so many fear happen. We hold on to fear like there's no tomorrow.
Because you see, the thing is that I've heard the comments said to me many times is, so what do I do? Start over. I've started over many times, and from nothing, but the faithfulness of divine, the faithfulness of your leader, the faithfulness of the person who takes care of your heart and looks over top of you. Yes, he looked over top of you when you were going through all of it, and he's there, always willing to help. But there's also everybody else that's willing to step out and also help you. Help you.
You're not alone.
Not everybody will do what I did because I'm made to do what I'm doing. I'm called to do what I'm doing. I'm supposed to do what I'm doing. There's a difference, but everybody has a task to do. Everybody has a task. Everybody has a role to play.
I agree.
A role to play in this beautiful, beautiful world in which we have. Right now, it looks pretty nasty. Pretty nasty.
So you're looking at it.
But the thing is that if I allow COVID to stop me from pressing forward, what else am I going to let stop me
from going forward?
I
agree.
It's only going to get more challenging with the years to become because the world is moving at a different pace, a pace where we don't even understand. We haven't even seen it yet, but it's changing. It's changing. Everything about it is changing. So the thing is that we have got to hold on to the dreams in which we have.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on to them. And don't, the thing is that don't tell too many people your
Yeah,
dreams.
don't.
Don't share it.
Mm-mm.
Especially those that are people that are backstabbers,
Mm-hmm.
people that talk too much,
He's whispering. Okay, so
right?
listen to him.
People that talk too much, the same people that talk so much are the same people that's going to talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that if you are with a person that talks about other people a lot, be careful
Mm-hmm.
because lickety split.
Yeah,
Them,
they.
them talk you
Yeah,
right
if you
after when
think
you come
you
out.
think you're special,
You
they're
think you're
doing the same
oh,
thing.
you're gonna be special.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is that I had to, in my mind, in my thought, be solid.
Mm-hmm.
Every day I've got to make a better me. Every day when I leave my home,
Better
I
version.
give thanks. And the people I meet every day, I am going to be able to bring them into my presence and infect them with the love and with the care and the abilities that I have, that when they leave me, something will resonate onto them, that they will be strengthened, right? Because that's all I know. That's all I know. And that's all I want to put out. It's not, again, let's not focus on, for me, focus on my past. Focus on where I'm going to go because I don't even know. After this big task that I'm taking on now, I know there's one more because I feel it deep inside.
Mm-hmm.
There's one more task that's bigger
Oh,
than what I'm taking on
up
right
to this
now,
point,
up to this
yeah.
point. And right now, we have another island right now that's calling for a bigger task for me to do. And I am, I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
as my brothers and sisters or my brother said to me, why you?
Why not you?
Hey, because it's for me.
Yeah, why not
It's
you?
for me, right?
Just like everybody
So
else, why not you? When you're
yeah,
progressing, why not you?
yeah.
Listen, Sephton, I forgot, yeah, wrap it
Wrap,
up.
wrap
Tight
it
up.
up. You know what? Thank you for having me. It's a
Welcome.
blessing. It's a blessing, and you know what? I want all my all my people. Doesn't matter. Everybody is there. You're my people.
Mm-hmm.
Be strong. Think about what the position in which you're in. Think about how you can help others.
Mm-hmm.
When you think about and you put others there and what you could do for them, it'll make your situation change. Because to help others, you gotta change
Exactly.
what it is that you do,
You said something to me. I mean, I know we said we're gonna wrap it up. But
which we
when
did. We just did.
we
We're not
really
off.
did.
We're
She's
still on here.
I know. Yeah, we still are. She's
Yeah.
when you said when things start changing, you weren't even chasing the money.
No.
What you were chasing is looking after people and
Mhm.
helping people. Because sometimes we have to mix certain things, or your aim is
Mhm.
to help. Making money will come,
Yeah.
but your aim is to help. And this is where we are in this society of what's going on with the whole mental illness, the abuse,
Mhm.
physical, mentally, the whole 9 yard. And we're gonna tell you what this is about. If it drop, get back up.
Get
There's
up.
get back up. There's people there that's going to help you. There's mental illness in every form.
Mhm.
We've all been through it. You're not going to be the first. You're not going to be the last. But the one thing that we're urging you to do is reach out and touch somebody, and reach out and call somebody, because your body tells you if this is not right. And for the abusers who are out there who needs help, ask for help.
Ask for help.
Ask for help. You know, we're gonna top this. We're gonna wrap this up. My name is Donna Savage. This would talk with Savage Desires and Sephton. Want to say thanks again.
Hey.
You know what? You're gonna see more of us. Maybe I'm gonna follow him to where he is and do a recording. You never know.
Yeah, St. Lucia. Beautiful.
Peace out.